Chapter 2. The First Alliance. Lunar Tales TV. When the moon rises, legends awaken. When legends unite, even the deepest darkness fears the dawn.
Did the heroes succeed?
Not at first, because darkness was not the only enemy they faced. Dawn broke over Oyo. The gates of the great city slowly opened. One by one, the heroes departed. Amadioha became a streak of blue lightning racing toward the eastern mountains. Anansi disappeared before the guards even realized he had left. Majiro and Inna rode north with a company of moon hunters, carrying Sango's banner to friendly kingdoms. Within the palace, Sango watched them leave. Beside him stood Oya. "Do you trust them?" she asked. Sango answered without taking his eyes off the horizon. "I trust them with my life." He paused. "I do not yet trust the world." Far below the palace, the sacred river began to glow. Its waters rose into the air, forming a shimmering path that stretched westward across forests, valleys, and distant kingdoms. Tano stepped onto the flowing bridge of water. He turned back toward his friends. Anansi was already waiting, leaning against a stone pillar with his familiar grin. "I thought envoys traveled alone." Tano smiled. "I know, so why are you here?" Anansi twirled a small golden spider between his fingers. "Because someone has to make sure you don't spend 3 days politely discussing river currents while the world ends." Tano laughed. "Very well. Walk with me." Together, the two old friends stepped onto the bridge of living water. The river carried them across the sky. Days later, they reached the sacred forests of the Awaken kingdom. Massive silk cotton trees stretched toward the heavens. Golden rivers shimmered beneath the morning sun. Birds with emerald feathers sang from every branch. For a brief moment, it felt as though the Shadow War did not exist. Then they saw it, an entire river, black. Fish floated lifeless upon its surface. The trees along its banks had withered. Anansi knelt beside the water. He frowned. "This isn't poison." Tano dipped his fingers into the river. The water hissed. He closed his eyes. When he opened them again, his expression had changed. "This river is afraid." Before either could speak again, a terrified young hunter burst from the trees. "Run," he shouted. "They're coming." The forest shook. Ancient trees splintered like dry sticks. A monstrous beast burst from the darkness. It stood taller than an elephant. Its body was covered in black stone. Its eyes burned crimson. Shadow smoke poured from its mouth. Behind it, dozens more emerged. Anansi slowly smiled. "I was hoping for a peaceful journey." Tano sighed. "You always say that just before everything goes wrong." The beast charged. Tano slammed his staff into the earth. The poisoned river answered his call. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, deep beneath the corruption, the river remembered who it truly was. Crystal blue water erupted from below the black surface. Towering waves rose into the sky. Water dragons formed from the sacred river itself. They crashed into the shadow beast with the force of 1,000 storms. The forest echoed with thunder. Yet as one beast fell, 2 more stepped from shadows. Anansi looked into the darkness. His smile disappeared. "They're not hunting villages anymore. They're hunting us." And hidden high above the battlefield, a pair of crimson eyes watched every move. A whisper drifted through the trees. The Dark Emperor was right. Anansi has begun his journey. The Watcher vanished before anyone sensed its presence. The hunt had begun. End of Chapter 2. For the first time since the Shadow War began, gods and heroes from different lands sat as one. Yet in the silence, every heart carried the same question. Would this alliance be enough? What do you think awaits Anansi and his allies in Chapter 3? Could you walk through the road of shadows without giving in to its whispers? Tell us your theories in the comments. Your ideas might inspire future adventures in this legendary saga. If you enjoyed this chapter, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the next adventure. Every chapter brings us closer to the greatest battle the gods of Africa have ever faced. Until next time, this is Lunar Tales TV, where legends awaken, ancestors whisper, and every moonlit night tells a story. Keep your hearts brave, your mind's wise, and your eyes fixed upon the stars. Good night, storytellers.